The director of the Secret Service, Kim Cheadle, has created a program known within the Secret Service as the 30 for 30. That is, the director wants to achieve 30% female agents and officers within the Secret Service by the year 2030.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to be talking about DEI initiatives and the negative impact they're having on government organizations like the military, Secret Service, law enforcement, etc. Okay, roll that clip first so that we can first get a baseline and identify from the Secret Service themselves how they actually go about their hiring practices. Okay, and if you don't believe this, gentlemen, here is the director of the Secret Service herself stating her hiring practices. Here's a clip.
Very conscious as I sit in this chair now of making sure that we need to attract diverse candidates and ensure that we are developing and giving opportunities to everybody in our workforce, and particularly women.
All right, there you go. So their sole focus on hiring practices is based off of your skin color, your gender, your sexual preference, okay? Not who is the most qualified candidate for the job. So that's kind of DEI in a nutshell, guys. I'm going to walk you through, because surprisingly, I've talked about this in a few other videos. A lot of people don't even know what DEI means or what a DEI initiative is, okay? It's obviously everywhere now in the government and employment, college campuses, everywhere you look, right? DEI, what it means, diversity, equity, and inclusion, okay? It's a nice little package phrase that makes it feel like everybody's getting a fair shot. Really what it is it's just a Marxist concept, okay? And I can say that because the second word in that is just Marxism basically stated, which is the word equity, okay? Not equality. It's very important that you understand there's a reason why the word equality isn't in that phrase, all right? Equality is everyone has the same opportunities. It's what America is all about, right? We should strive for it. Equity means everyone has the same outcome, regardless of what effort they put in or how qualified they are, okay? And the reality is, guys, equity is not a thing that actually exists. It's just communism, right? There's a reason why communism didn't work. There's a reason why these DEI initiatives don't work. And that is specifically because you cannot have equality of outcome, because there is no such thing as equality of input or effort, right? So equity doesn't exist. And the last one, inclusion. Inclusion's a good thing. It just means bringing people into the fray, into your organization, making them feel a part of things, right? So there's some nice, fun little phrases in there that makes it feel like it's a good thing. Is it a good thing? We're going to break that down today. All right. Again, when it comes to, and the reason why I'm making this video is I've watched DEI initiatives have a massive negative impact on my organization, the Army Special Forces. It's very clear that it has in law enforcement, and the assassination attempt on Donald Trump has really brought it to the forefront and shoved it in everybody's face, sort of as, look how bad this is, right? And these are the reasons why, right? So what I want to do is, first, we're going to roll this clip. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, of footage from the assassination attempt. And what a lot of people, I mean, they're being pretty harsh, but honestly, it's deserved. You know, they're calling the bumbling fumbalinas and things like that. And that's these women Secret Service agents and their performance during and after the assassination attempt. So let's roll this clip that everybody really has seen and then talk about it. Okay, guys, this is, it's unexcusable, first of all. But what this really is, and I want to break it down for you guys, as someone who You know, a lot of people, well, are trying to, you know, defend them, and so it's such a chaotic environment, and it's not their fault, and this and that. Look, I have been in these types of chaotic environments. I have been shot at, and not just in situations where it's one bullet, hundreds of bullets, while I've been in charge, while I've been the main element leader, okay? I understand the chaos. However, what you're seeing here is a massive lack of training, knowledge, experience, skill set. All of it is devoid, okay? This is the type of thing when we do military training or even in big gunfights, someone who's super inexperienced, this is exactly what it looks like, okay? You see them looking around, panicking, turning in circles. Well, that one lady who doesn't even know where her holster to her gun is, you know, throwing the glasses on, trying to look professional while still just standing outside the door, really doing nothing. And as you see, all the male Secret Service agents clear out of the way, they're still just there grabbing at door handles. It's so bad, guys. And this isn't the only one, right? We'll put up some other pictures of, right? Here's the classic picture of actually one of that same Secret Service agents hiding behind the men who are protecting the president. This is a really gross picture. And here's another one, female Secret Service agent hiding behind another male Secret Service agent, okay? Yeah, guys, this is, again, and I don't care if this was men, women, it doesn't matter. What it is a demonstration of these people have been hired, they haven't been trained, and they obviously have no background in this type of thing either, right? And I say that because even I could take an ODA of Green Berets, 12 Green Berets, put them there, zero training from the Secret Service, have that event unfold, and they would know what to do. Why? Because they have extensive training and experience in the tactical realm and understanding of chaotic situations like this. These people, no clue what to do. Now, I don't want to tear them down because ultimately it's not these women's fault, okay? It is the fault of leadership for putting them in that situation, which is just irresponsible, to those women themselves and to the president, former president, right? And again, I don't care if this was men, women, it doesn't matter. This is not the place for diversity hiring standards, right? Any tactical arm where the result of failures ends in death, okay? Military, law enforcement, Secret Service, and the death of important people, there's no place for the DEI standards, okay? I'm gonna play another clip from Greg Laplin over at Fieldcraft Survival. He did a breakdown on the assassination attempt yesterday, which is honestly much better than mine. It's by far the best breakdown out there. He's super experienced in this stuff. I'd highly encourage you to go watch that video if you want more information, but he talks about the same thing, about how, you know, diversity initiatives and these diversity hires on the ground are a massive problem. So let's watch the clip from Greg.
But everyone's hammering this woman who does not look like the pinnacle of fitness and in the best shape, does not look the most trained or squared away, is a Secret Service agent. And you know what? Not shame on her, but shame on the agency for the hiring standards and the fitness standards and the training standards.
All right, I 100% agree with everything Greg says here, right? And, you know, you can get upset about it if you want, but he's not wrong. Talk about you looking at these agents. She's obviously not in shape. There's no way she's passing any type of physical fitness test, which then all that's doing is further cementing that these people are just hired and they're not trained. Supposedly the Secret Service has talked about how they don't have the budget for it and things like that, which is kind of silly when you think about how much money the government just spends and prints, right? But yeah, again, guys, this is not the place for diversity hiring. And here's the main point, right? Diversity. What type of diversity is important? So I make this distinction. A lot of people don't understand this. There's two different types of diversity, okay? There's the diversity that I believe is wholeheartedly extremely important to an organization, okay? That is a diversity of perspective, background, thought process, skill set, knowledge, language abilities, okay? Could go on, right? That is not what the D in DEI means. If it did, it would be a good initiative. What the D in DEI means for diversity there is the one you're used to hearing. Skin color, gender, sexual preference. I would argue that there is no job, for the most part, that I can think of where the second one matters to job performance. What does your skin color have to do with your ability to protect the president? What does your gender have to do with your ability to protect the president? What does the type of person you're attracted to have to do with protecting the president? Nothing, 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 okay? I try not to get worked up and frustrated, but again, I've watched this, especially in Army Special Forces. I'll walk you guys through this, right? So back in 2016, 2017, they started making, under General Sontag, huge changes to the Q course, lowering standards, reducing the course length by 6 months, all of these different things to try to make it so a woman could become a Green Beret. That was the only point, right? And what we ended up seeing over the next 5-6 years was not that women started becoming Green Berets, right? Like a couple have done it, tried, is that the standards were lowered. So what happened? A bunch of people who would have never typically made it, men, then became Green Berets, right? And we've had to deal with the fallout of having soldiers who've got no business being in the regiment who've made it through, okay? That same type of thing is obviously happening in law enforcement and the Secret Service. Secret Service, this event, just glaringly, again, shoved it in everybody's face to say, look, this is DEI hiring right here, right? In chaos, when everything, all the chips are down and on the table, this is what it looks like, and it's not good, right? So what should we be hiring on then? Secret Service? Let's think about it. Well, what's the job? Protect the president from being assassinated. Okay, so maybe level of training, experience in former professions, skill, knowledge, ability, potential. Those are all pretty good things to look at candidates for. Okay, maybe not, are you a woman? You're hired. When it comes to a job, who again, if you do the job wrong, a president dies, which we are very lucky didn't just happen, okay? We'd be having a very different conversation this week had it happened. All right, so I want to play another clip of that I think is really good from a guy over at Forbes magazine, or was being interviewed, talking about this same thing. So let's roll the clip.
I think the Secret Service they need to clean house. This DEI situation that Biden has put into place, and the leader of Secret Service wanting, saying 30% women. Well, I don't care if you're a purple unicorn. Just put the best players in. It should not be a DEI situation. It should be just the best performing human available in that position.
All right, again, here I agree with this gentleman 100%. First of all, the Secret Service director, she should already be fired. Long gone, okay? The fact now, she's going to have to justify before Congress in an investigation based off of the performance of these Secret Service agents. She's going to have to prove that she hasn't been lowering standards and lowering training requirements to allow these women in. She's going to have to prove that. She's not going to be able to prove that, right? It's going to be almost guaranteed that that's the case. But anything like this massive failure, like the leader goes, okay? She's got to go. And I would say frontline leaders, we don't know who was in charge. They're at the rally. They got to go. Turn in your badge. That's how I feel. I got no sympathy for these people whatsoever, okay? I do have some sympathy for the operatives on the ground, because again, they're being put in a dangerous situation without any training. Like, they might have some training, but obviously it's not enough to handle the situation. They don't have the skill for it. They don't have the experience for it. Again, it's irresponsible from leadership to have put them there in the first place, right? So, and I've heard a lot of people who are trying to defend this, which is apparent, by the way, like, you can't defend it, but there's still leftists who are trying. Oh, well, the Secret Service director, she's got 20 years experience in Secret Service before she worked at Pepsi. So what? Like, the Secret Service is a large organization. She could have been an administrator. It's like saying, oh, well, you know, this person that was in the military for 20 years, it's good for them to be in charge of running a combat operation, right? When it turns out they were an S1 administrative clerk in their career. It doesn't make any sense, right? So that is not any excuse or reason, right? And again, we saw a clip from herself, what her focus is, and it's not on the best performing candidates. So, what are my final thoughts on this, right? Again, I'm not trying to, you know, bash people, bring people down, or women or anything like that. There are plenty of women who can, especially in the Secret Service, who can do the job effectively, okay? We do see one woman who actually knew what she was doing, and it's in the picture here, right? She is doing the right thing. She's there on the president. She is guarding his body. But I would say here's the problem with this. There are requirements to this job, which is if you are 5'4", man or woman, and the president is 6'4", you probably shouldn't be on the front line of protecting him. Why? That picture shows you. Because his entire face, throat, neck, upper thoracic are not protected, even though you're trying to. Okay? That's the whole point. Like, I don't care if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're black, if you're white, if you're gay, if you're straight, can you do the job effectively? If the answer is no, you're gone. Or you're moved somewhere else, regardless of any of those things, right? So, the reason why I wanted to make this video is I think in society, we've been bullied over the last 5-6 years so hard by the left and the media about these things that anybody who comes out and, you know, talks bad about DEI or anything like this gets censored, they get canceled, they get bullied out of the arena. And I think, look, we know that these things don't work now, right? If you are, you know, Disney and you want to have DEI initiatives and you've lost $100 billion, which they have because of it, cool. You want to destroy your own company and you're a private company and lose all your money and, you know, lose all your stakeholders' money? That's your prerogative, right? But the tactical arm of the government? No. No. We're done. And we need people to start standing up, using the platforms and saying enough is enough. We're not doing it anymore. We need reform, okay? The DEI initiatives in the tactical arm of the government go bye-bye completely. And we get back to a hiring standard and process where the best applicant for the job, regardless of any diversity, is the one who's hired, okay? Why? Because the job is extremely, extremely, extremely important. And people's lives are at risk, okay? I have no apologies for my take on this. I've been very outspoken about the failures of DEI myself, even though I'm non-political, because I've watched it happen in my own organization. And I don't like seeing it happen everywhere else. Because again, it's terrible for the country. Look at, guys, we are the laughing stock of the world right now. It's honest. They're all watching this. They're watching our current president, who's basically, you know, a corpse at this point, and they're watching assassination attempts on a political candidate. We look like a banana republic, and it's embarrassing, and you as an American should be embarrassed too. So I would say, guys, even if you don't have your platforms or whatever, it's time to be outspoken about these things. You don't need to cower. You don't need to be afraid to be canceled or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with presenting objective reality in America, and that's what I do on this channel, right? It's just objective reality, everything I've said here. You can try to disagree with what I've said, that's fine. I'm just gonna assume you're delusional, because again, this is not complicated stuff, guys. So hope you guys found that interesting, and take care, everybody.